Okay, today we are going to cover how to create wonderful slides and sharing on how we can create content on slides that present your ideas very well, and also how to tell a good story when you're actually developing slides. I think there are very common issues that people face when they are creating slides. I think one group of it would be aesthetic issues, right? They think that their slides are not nice, they feel that they're not expressing their ideas well enough. Or there could be technical issues such as I can't get the object to do what I want the object to do, or like there's just too many things on a slide. I find it very hard to manage all of them. Or maybe just from an experience perspective, like I'm not creating a compelling presentation, or like, my content is not inspiring enough. So how do I go about some of that? So I think one of the first things I want to do is I have a few things I'm going to go through. I want to talk about how to be inspired to create better slides. I want to talk about assets that you actually need to actually create your slides. I want to talk about content objects also that you are going to have and use on your PowerPoint, and also how to make a PowerPoint template, and also what are some factors we need to think about when actually creating slides for presenting specifically. Because you can create slides for proposals, you can create slides for reports, but also you can create slides for presenting as well. Okay, so very first thing is if you want to create slides for hang on, I'm going to create come to Google, and I think the first thing I want to do is to show you how I get inspired. Okay, let me close my toolbar first. Okay, so there are a few things we do. I every time try to look for PowerPoint layout inspiration. So PowerPoint layout inspiration. And then there are tons of them. You can go by image search, and there are so many out there. Okay, there's a lot. So I think before you even start, you need to know what does good looks like first, and there are a lot of materials out there already. So for me, right, what I've done is I have a Pinterest account. And on my Pinterest account, I have a board which I call infographics and PowerPoint templates. So I've already saved a lot of very wonderful resources I see out there that I like, and I've actually kept it here. Like check this one out. It's very pastel, quite cool looking. I can click here, and then I can go to the website and actually have a look at the template. Now I can open image, a new tab. I can see a big version of it. I can see different slides, like, how are they doing it? Wow, so nice. Just to inspire myself. Or even others that is maybe a bit more corporate looking. So maybe something like that, which has tons of layout, right? So I could come to this side. I could see like, oh, okay, many columns, showing timelines, showing themes, 3-column, 4-column, interspersing with pictures and text, while having a mobile device, showing maybe a user journey, how to use tables, and things like that. So there are lots of resources out there, and I really urge everyone to try to go and maybe even create your own Pinterest board to get some inspiration. All right? Okay, now, before even starting, there are a few things that we will need, right? I'm going to maybe say a few things that you need. Let me just create a new slide. Okay, things you need. Assets. Okay, I'm just going to call them assets, all right? First thing you need are fonts. Oops, sorry. First thing you need are fonts. I think a lot of time we are looking for font. Also, what about colors? Sometimes we don't know what colors to use. What about icons as well? I think we need pictures. And also sometimes we just look for things online on Google, right? Searching, maybe I'll say searching on Google. So fonts, for the first one is what I normally use is I go to this website called thefonts.com. And in thefonts.com, I can actually have tons of fonts available for me to download. Ooh, font. Without, what is it? Oh yes, without the S. So dafont.com, and there are tons of fonts here. I can filter down by, let's say I want basic sans serif or serif type of fonts. So this kind of look kind of nice. I can even type in like I want a text to say like my company vision or something like that. I want to show more fonts. Then I can submit. Then now I can actually see the actual word itself coming out in that particular font. So I can choose what font I like and then I can start using it. So let's just say I like this font, the bold font. Okay, I'll download this font. It's 100% free. Okay. I unzip my font. Okay, then I have a two-type font. I can open my font book. I think this is just normal standard installing font process. The font book, I go inside. I've installed the font. Okay. Of course, I can have more different kind of fonts if I like. So it's called the bold font. So I go to my PowerPoint. Maybe I save this. Or save backing. Class. Save this. I close. I need to restart my PowerPoint so that the font will load. So let me start my PowerPoint again. Okay. My last getting masterclass. Okay, here. So let's say I change this one. I change to the bold font. Was it? No, it wasn't. Where is it? It's called the bold font. Yeah, the bold font. I think it's called the font. This is the one. The font. Okay. So change this light as well. This is I like as well. So this is using fonts. Okay, you can download as many as you like. And I think a few key things to take note when you're actually downloading fonts is that you should have bold fonts, which you can actually use it. For example, when you have an empty slide, and then maybe you have a solid color background. Um, let's say, let's say something strong, okay? And then you just have some simple text you want to say. Uh, we can do this or whatever. Okay, and put on. I can make it white. Then I can make it really big. Let's say 100. So when you actually have something like that, right, it looks big, bold, and strong and nice. Of course, you also want to do sometimes have thin fonts as well. So one of the fonts that I really like to use is Avenir Next, also, or maybe even Century Gothic. Century. You can have many different kinds, and you can even have thin ones. Avenir Next. I can have some of the fonts. They even have options like that for you to do ultra thin. Okay, so you have options between bold and thin. So just keep in mind. Okay. Now the next one is colors. Sometimes we use the default colors here. From here you can see some default colors, right? You can use that, or if you feel that you want to have even nicer colors, one of the websites that I love to go is called Color Lovers. Okay. So in Color Lovers as a website, they use a collaboration with a lot of different people to actually, it's an online community where you can create color palettes and you can use them again and again. So let's say I want to search for a color palette that is a chill, okay, that gives me a chill feel. So here are some examples. It's really chill, right? Spring, chill mornings. So I can choose whatever colors I like. So maybe I like this one. Let's say October morning as a palette. This, it will load me a screen and it will show me that this is the palette that is relevant to this one. Oh no, this I click on the person actually. Let me just go back. This one. Okay, I pick this color palette. I'll click this. It will load. So these are the colors that I can use. So one of the things I can do is I can just maybe screen grab this Okay, I can screen grab this, and then I can go to my slides and I paste it. And sometimes I paste it of my uh, outside of my face, or sometimes I put it at the last slide. No, actually I use it more on the last slide. So let's say I have it a blank slide here. I take this image and I put here. So whenever I need colors, I'll come back to this place to get it. So let's say I have it here. So I can say like my color one, I want to change color, more colors, and I'll use the color picker. And I'll just say, okay, I will take this color, this color, this color, this color. So let's say for this one, I take this color. So I'll be using this color. Then I can say icons, I want to change another color, but it's still in the same color palette. So I choose this color, right? Then I can say that, oh, you know what, for background, I want it to be also similar. I can again go more color, use my color picker, and then I can choose this color. Okay, so you can see the slides now starting to become more and more like the actual color palette itself. Okay, so these are all colors. Now, what about, let me just undo everything. Okay, now what about icons? Okay, now icons, I love to go to this site called the Noun Project. Noun Pro. Free icons for everything. And they have many kinds of icons here. So just showing some friends recently that if let's say we are looking to create some slides about wine. Okay? So I have this icon, click this icon, and then say I want to get this icon, basic download, I click continue, and can give attribution to thank this person for it. So normally what I do is I will give the attribution at the end. So I download the PNG file, so it's here. Okay? It's here. So now I go back to my PowerPoint, okay, and then I drop my icon in here. So now I have this icon. Okay, so with this icon, sometimes I will usually try to cover the credits for now, and instead I will put a credit at the end to say like, then I'll put here an icon, so and so. Okay, so that's one way to do it. So now I have an icon, and keep in mind that it is a transparent icon as well. So I can actually put it in multiple different color backgrounds, it will still work very well. So I've got questions yesterday as well. Can we change the color of the icon? We definitely can. From here, you can go to picture format. You can go to color. And here, by default, there are a few for you to choose from. Or you can, again, go by variation and pick again the colors that we have been using. So just now we have been using the color picker, right? So similar, we can do this. Say, okay, I want this color, or I want this color. Ta-da! No, it didn't happen. Let's just use this one. Okay? Okay, now we've got an orange one, the mustard one, we've got a blue one, and we can have a green one. So you get the idea. Okay, so these are icons. Now, next one is pictures. Pictures. There is another great resource called Unsplash. Beautiful free images and pictures. So now, let's say again, wine. Let's some wine pictures. Voila. Beautiful pictures, beautiful grapes. Let's look at these beautiful grapes, okay? I can download free image. Okay. So now they're asking me to give attribution again. I copy this attribution. Then I go back to my here, put this. Great. Photos. Okay. So, okay, now I have the picture downloaded. No. Okay, let me download the medium one. Oh, because is it I haven't logged in? Oh yes, I think because I haven't logged in. Sorry. So the logging in is a free account. An account join. Yes. Sorry. Never mind, never mind. Let's just go back here again. I'll just take the picture from here first, okay? The image. And you can paste pictures. Okay? So you can take a lot of different pictures, and from a picture perspective also, you can also look for pictures on YouTube, on Google. So let's say on Google, you can look for images. Let's say I want great. You can go by image. And one trick is to use tools and search the size as large. So now you'll be very sure that all these pictures are large images. So let's say we look at this one. Okay. It is 1400 by 1000. So that's fairly big. I can copy this image and I can paste here. But also take note, if you're using pictures for commercial purpose, you need to make sure that you are following the correct usage rights as well. So here it's quite nicely filtered. This one is with license. So labeled for non-commercial reuse. So if you're not making money, you can use these pictures. If labeled for reuse with modification, means totally you can do anything with it. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, so there are pictures. Now, actually on Google, when we are actually searching for pictures at time, there's a few key tricks as well. Sometimes you want logos. Okay, let's say I want a company logo. Like for me, I work in TNLYR logo. Then I can actually say, okay, we can actually say that I want a file as PNG. So PNG usually have a transparent background. Okay. So what happened is I can search large one and I can actually find images that have PNG. So you can see the black and the gray and white hash, right? It's actually transparent. So when I put here, you can see that it is actually a transparent picture, right? So you can find a PNG file. So there are a few tricks here. Now, also, let's say you are you are working for a client and you're trying to put together, a slides that is presenting to your specific client, and there are a lot of pictures probably on their website as well. So let's just look at maybe any brand. Let's say Electrolux. Okay, that's a brand. Okay, electrolux.com. Okay, maybe I can say electrolux.com as a site. I want to search for site Electrolux, and then I hit enter, and then I click images. So what am I doing right now is I'm actually searching for images on this website called electrolux.com, and I could put tools, I can put size, and I can put large. So now suddenly I have all the high resolution images that is available on electrolux.com. So I mean, if you are creating presentations and slides for your clients, I don't think they will mind you using pictures, of theirs to present back to them as well. So let's say this picture is really nice. I can copy. You see, wow, so big. I can copy image, click my PowerPoint, and paste. And it's, oh, this is in a PDF, that's why. Okay, but you get the idea. There will be a lot of different kind of pictures that you can actually pick and use, right? Okay. Oh yeah, just now something about icons, and I forget to mention. Noun project. A lot of times I've seen slides that people have created, right? That the icons look very weird. Let's say just now we have this wine glass, right? Let's say now I'm looking for a decanter, okay? A wine decanter. And let's say I choose this wine decanter, okay? Then I get this icon, download it, okay? And I drag my wine decanter icon in. Now, there's something very different with these two types of icons, right? Because this one is filled and this is void. So what I usually like to do is to have icons that are of quite similar styles. So for example, go back to the, there are a few things. One I look at is thick lines and thin lines. Okay, so if I'm going to use thin lines, I'm going to use all my icons in my entire slides with thin lines. If I'm going to use thick, all the way thick. And if I want to look at void versus filled, I would either use one or the other. I won't mix them up. And also another thing which a lot of people miss out is the kind of lines. Like this, you can see this particular icon is a sharp icon. So the corners are all sharp, right? Nice and sharp. But there are other icons probably like this kind. Like you see, these are all round. These are round, very more roundish. So you see the corners are rounded off and things like that. So when you mix the sharp and round edges, I find that it makes your slides look a bit more mismatched. So it's a bit messy at times. Okay? So this is the very basics where I'm talking about using assets and how we look at font, color, icon, pictures, and all this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by talking about key content objects. I'll just again create a blank slide, all right? Now, text box. Let me go to shapes, and now I'll take a square, all right? Let's look at this square. Now, sometimes, I think very easy one is we take try to make it like a org chart. Okay, let's do a simple one. Let's say uh, CEO. Okay, then I duplicate, then I make another person which is manager or director. I duplicate another one, director. Okay. What I'll normally do is I will fix the size using this shape. So let's say this is 2, and this is 3. Okay. I'll usually align them together. Then I can draw a line as well. So a lot of times, I think a lot of people have done this. It's not too difficult. You can pick a line and connect them together and things like that. Now the tricky thing comes when you are trying to do content that is in a box and it gets a bit messy. Okay. Before that, now you see there's this little challenge that a lot of people face is that this particular line doesn't really line up very well. So sometimes we will try to do this, align each center, and yet the line don't align very well, right? You see that. So what I'll normally do is I will do this. I will make the width different so it's actually straight. Or sometimes I just make all of them thick or something like that. So it will sort of not that look so weird. Okay, whatever. Now, let's say I have a box and I have a heading. This is a point. This is the point. Okay. So sometimes people have this. Let me delete all this. Sometimes people have problems with trying to make this look nice. And what I normally see people do is that they will take a box, and then what they'll do is they will take a text box and put it on here, and they will type in their text. Now, this is an absolute no-no from my perspective. It's because now you have two objects to manage. I know one of the reasons that people do that is because they want to align the text, like how far away is it from the box, so that they can control it better. But actually, that's totally not necessary because we can do this instead. Let's say we do this, make the heading bold, configure, okay, and maybe let's say we have a bullet point here. Okay, so sometimes it's too near, so they want it further a little bit. So what I normally do is I go to shape format, and I go to format pane, and I go to this, using this function, can actually change the left margin and right margin. So for here, let's say I make it a 0.4, a 0.4. Okay, because we are so big, right? So let's just make it a 0.1. Okay, 0.1, 0.1, 1 cm, 1 cm. Okay, so in this way, it looks a lot more neater and tighter. Okay, and you can actually adjust the size as much as you like. Okay, you click, it will just move. Okay, so that's a text box, and also I want to talk about paragraphing as well. So let me just pick some random copy here. Lorem. Oh, okay, okay. Website. Okay, I like to come to this website and take some Lorem Ipsum text. Okay.
Oh.
So now this Lorem Ipsum text, oops. Okay, so this Lorem Ipsum text. Now you can see that it's quite tight. There's a few things you can do. You can format paragraph, and you can say that give it a bit more space, so multiple. So usually what I like to do is 1.3. It just makes the text a lot easier to read and breathe, right? So that's one good practice I like to have. Okay, so rectangular shape, margins. Now, some people ask me also like, hey Nick, what about circle shape? You know, circle shape can be quite hard to manage. Triangle shape as well. So let's just do a circle right now. Take a shape, do a circle. Okay, one circle here. Now, you know, sometimes when you have text, right? Let's say 57%, and then you have some copy at the bottom, and it's quite ridiculous.
This is very similar to what I learned recently.
Cool. Discounts on all lines that are
from spending time in an agency doing these things, like be it brochures and all that, or even like presentations all the time, then you develop this sense.
Okay, so sometimes people find it a bit hard to manage the box as well, and it gets into this kind of situation. Like I know I can fit, but why it doesn't? So sometimes it's the margin. So I'll just switch off the margin, and in order to get even more control, is that I will not even do the wrapping. So I will do my own manual hard return. Okay, not very good. I can't really see now. Let me change to black first. Okay, discount on all, if you get, that fits just nice. All wines that are from, okay, so you can really fit it to the edge. So a lot of times I use tricks like that to just make it fit nicer. A lot of times what I see people do is they don't do that. Instead, they create another text box and they type in this copy. And then they move it around and try to fit it. So now you have two objects. And sometimes when you have two objects, three shapes or things like that, then sometimes some are a little bit higher, some are a little bit lower, some are a little bit off center. It feels very amateurish and it feels very messy as well. So this I think this is the cleanest way to get it done. All right. Now I'm going to try to do up a very simple, almost like a table looking maybe a Gantt chart of sorts, so that you all can have a sense of some of these different techniques coming together. Okay? So let me insert a table. Let's say we've got 4 quarters and is it? Okay, so I got this table. Okay, so this maybe we call it activity 1, then activity 2 and 3 and 4. Sorry. Here you get the idea. And I cannot take it. I will always try to get rid of all the format. If you want, you can stick to the format. But I normally like to clear it, and I like to use my own font. So let's say I'll use my Avenir, my favorite Avenir next. I'll make this, let's say, 20. Now give the lines. Okay, people design. I will have maybe a light color, and then I will do a grid. Okay, very simple. Now, this is 4 quarters. So sometimes people put here Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay, and then what we will normally do is we will make it bold, and we will center a line. Now, clearly you can see it's very tight. So what we want to do is the margin thing just now we talked about. So maybe 0.4, 4, Here maybe just 0.2 and 0.2 is enough. Shading, maybe we want to make it a certain color. So let's see. Shading, yeah. So let's say we use like this color, then we make it white. Okay. So this is very simple. But sometimes I realize is that I want to show progress. So I want to use a shape instead of a box. So what I can do is I can do this and make one shape. Okay. I say this is Q4. Okay. Let me change it to the color that I want. So, and I am going to use this other shape, which I find it kind of nice. Okay. I'm going to move it, and I am going to move it such that the arrow, where the arrow starts, is actually where the joint ends as well. Okay, so you can see it's very nice. So what I'm going to do also, I'm going to make the lines white and make it maybe a little bit thicker. So now I call it Q3. Okay. So yeah, next, make this big 20.
A lot of work though. The way he likes to do his aesthetic.
And do it like that. I can duplicate as well. So I can make this Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, this is a manual way of doing it. Of course, you have a process art, smart objects you can actually use and things like that. Okay, so that's done for this. Okay, now managing things. A few things. When we have many shapes on a slide, we want to be able to manage them. So let's say I've got these 5 items. So what I want to do is I want to align them. So I find this aligning is extremely useful. So I don't need to manually move them. It's align middle. And the next thing is distribute horizontally. Now it looks all very neat. Now I want to say like, okay, but it's still a bit off left, right? So what I do is I group them up. Now after I group them, I align them again to the center of the page. Now it is right smack in the middle. And I'm not sure if it is right in the middle of the, middle as in a vertically middle. I can also say align middle and it will shift. So now I am really, really right smack in the middle. So this goes for more objects as well. If let's say suddenly I like, hey, you know what, I need to add one more bubble. Actually, it's not 5, it's actually 6. So I just leave it here. I'll just take this. And then I'll arrange, line, distribute horizontally again. Oops. So it snaps nicely. And I find this saves me super lot of time. And it's very, very neat and tidy. Okay, so this is managing, aligning and distributing of objects. Now, images also. Just now we have that very nice image of that, what was that image? Grape image. Grape.
No, I know.
Let's take this picture, huh? It's not very big.
Oh, mute your computer.
Yeah, don't mind. Can you mute? Then let's do the questions at the end. Okay. So this is a picture of grapes, and I can crop the picture also. So sometimes people want to fit this into a certain space. So you can actually go to picture format. You can do cropping. Okay. You can first adjust first. Never, ever distort the picture. So what I mean by distort is like making pictures look like that. This is just terrible. Okay. Oh, I know. Let's not do this. Let's use a picture of a person instead. Let's say I'll take my picture of myself. Yes, I do Google myself once in a while. And I'll just randomly get a picture, okay? I'll take this picture of me, copy image, over here. Okay, now, there never ever distort pictures. This is distorting picture because I'm not fat, and I'm not thin as well, so don't ever do that. Instead, click on the corner and drag it so that it gets big and small proportionately. Also, now with pictures as well, you may want to crop them because this is not a square, and you might want to have a square. So you can crop this by doing it manually this way. Okay. So you can actually have a more of a portrait shot right now. But another way which is even better is the exact shape and size that you want. What I'll do is I can take a square, I can draw this, and say I want this square to be so big. I want my face. Okay, maybe I can't see. I'll do transparent a bit. Okay, I want my face to be like that. So what I do is I select the back, I select the box, then I go to shape format. I can use this function, which I can say I want the intersect. So now, ta-da, I have this. So I can even do other shapes, right? I don't even have to do circle. I don't have to do squares. I can do circles as well. So now let's say I have a circle here. Do this. Select this. Again, shape format. I can intersect and put. So I have the picture nice and round and it's transparent as well. So I do this all the time for making sure that pictures are of a nice different shape. Sometimes I see people like to use pictures for slides as well, and they like to have a bit of a angle to things. So here, what I can do is I'll take a shape. We'll say, let's say I'll do this shape. Okay. Do this. Pull it here. So now there's a bit of an angle to my picture. I take this, and say format, and I can cut off and really mask off this little space here. So I want to subtract right now. I don't want this blue thing. So I subtract, it will slice off that part. So it makes the picture makes the slide a little bit more dynamic in a way. Okay, with that picture. Okay, what's next? Removing background. Oh, removing background is a tough one. So let's say a logo. Let's say we look at what logo do we have out there? Pick any logo. Let's pick a TikTok logo. Let's go. We copy TikTok logo, copy image, paste here. This is very nice video. Let's say I want to remove the black color part. Hey, no. I know. We take a white background picture. Let's say bottle of wine. Okay, let's just look at this one. Come on. Expensive wine takes a while to load. Oh, it's already transparent. Go on. Let's take this one. Okay, let's take this picture. Let's say we want to use this picture and we don't want the gray thing to appear. Okay, let's just copy it from here, okay? Copy image. Paste. So this is the picture that I've used and I don't want the gray part. There's a solid background. What I can do is I can go to picture format and I can just click remove background. So you can see it's not really that smart. So I have to say mark areas to keep and mark areas to remove. So I want to keep these areas. I want to keep this area. Bit of a manual work, huh? I want to keep this area. Keep this area. This area. Keep this area. This one need a bit of skill, huh? Of course, you got Photoshop even better, lah. So now without this, right, you see, okay lah, some bottles actually did well, some bottles didn't do well. But you get the idea. You can actually remove background by selecting what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep. Okay, this is removing background and masking. Next one I want to show you all is videos. One of the content that we always use are videos, and sometimes you notice that you have to go and find that little play button. So let me pick a video that I've downloaded. Okay, I have this video here, which is a video that I recently created for fun. So you dropped in the video. So if I go to PowerPoint here, this is my second slide. Then I want to go to my next slide, which is actually the video. I click, and you realize that it doesn't play. What you have to do is you have to go there and press the play button. That shouldn't be the way, right? So what you need to do when you drop in the image, the video, is you select the video, and you go to playback, and you say you want to play automatically. Okay? So now what happens is when you're on this slide, and you go to the next slide, the video just plays itself. Another option that people do is that I can take, let's say I remove this video. Let's say I create the video here, like a video thumbnail. Okay, and this video is actually a thumbnail right now. Let me remove all these glasses. Okay, so I have, let's say, a video within my slide, and I want to play it in when I go to the, like, I want to show this slide, but when I click on my presentation, I want this to play full screen. So I can take this, I can say playback in click sequence. Now I can say play in full screen. Okay, so let me show you how this is happening. So I have this, I have a slide. Now when I press the button, the video plays full screen. So now I don't need a slide just for that one video. Okay, so sometimes it can be shown in thumbnail. So one of the nice things that I like to do is to make it look nice. Say I do a Mac on a file PNG, go by images, and I get a Mac. Sorry, a Mac. Nice picture here. So let's say I take this one. Okay, I'll take this image. I'll copy this. Come here. Not really a bluff. Okay, this one I take this. The image I paste here. So very nice thumbnail. Nice slide here. So I bring this forward, bring to front, and I put it here. It's like my video thumbnail like that. Okay. So it now looks like, wow, legit nice slide and things like that. So I can move this here, then I can do like that. So I'm actually talking about maybe some content on this page. So when I go here to say this slide, then I say, oh, okay, let's take a look at the video now. Then I click next slide, then it plays in full screen. Okay. So a lot of people make this mistake by not doing this step. Okay, now this is all the basics that I find everybody should know. I'm going to remove all this. Now I'm going to show you how to create a template. I think creating templates is extremely important because of speed, especially when you have many colleagues trying to collaborate and create slides together. Suddenly, you know, some person do it in this format, that person do it in that format, and when you have to put it all together, right, you have to do a lot of reformatting again, which I find is very, very silly, time-wasting activities. So one of the key things I try to do is I create a template. And then when I create a template, I send to everybody. Everybody use the same template. And when you copy and paste slides into together, right, they will all form nicely. So, okay, let's start from fresh. I'm going to create a new template from nothing and show you. Okay, so I go to here, View Master, Slide Master. So normally, this is the slide master that is by default. There will have a lot of different things that you use. But I've never seen anyone use this template. I've never seen anyone use this one as well. So I'm going to just delete all of these and I will create sort of from scratch for you, okay? So here, now I've got a bit of an OCD, okay? I need my columns to be well balanced. Let me explain what I mean, okay? First, okay, wait, let me change all my fonts first. I want this in the Avenir next, which I like. Okay, and I need my middle content to be, for me, this is more of a personal preference, like who in the world will make it 29.21 cm? I really cannot understand. So I every time make it to 30, okay? And then height, maybe let's make it 11. And what I'll do is I will align this in the center. So now I know the space on the left and the right is balanced. Sweet, nice. So what happened is I will also take a box. What I do is, let me remove the box. So I will take this box, I will take the side. Now I know this is the space I have on my left, right? And I want to use that on my right as well. It's the exact same space. So what happened, you see here, it's nice, neat, tight, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align this shape, this shape to the bottom. Align to the bottom of the page. So now I want to move my column to touch this. So now I know I have equal space on the left and at the bottom. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to put it at the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same for this. I really don't like this. 29.21, so I'll make it 30. And again, I'm going to align it to center. And this time, I'm going to touch this. Okay. Again, this is personal preference, and I will share with you why I do it like that in a bit. Okay, so maybe this is too tall. I don't want 3.68, so I'll make it just 3. All right. Then this I have 11. Now here, I duplicate, and you will see that this is nicely, neatly aligned as well. Okay. Now I can remove this now because these two boxes are steady. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the left and right margins. Okay, this is again a personal preference because I find that sometimes this gets in the way. This top and bottom, I'm still okay. So this is now my template. I will move my footer to the left, move this footer to the right. Okay, so now I have a base template. Which will control, this is a master template that will control all the rest. So I'm going to create a new layout, and there are a few key ones that I always make. Okay, so I'm going to create, insert a layout, and I'm going to call this, rename this, I'm going to call this a cover slide. Okay, I'm going to create this called cover slide, and this will be my title. Okay, I'm going to erase all of this first. My cover slide is going to be solid color. No, maybe a gradient fill. Okay, it's going to be this color. Okay, maybe this color. I'll do gradient in this way. I will insert a object. No, insert placeholder. Okay, this is a title slide. I can say this is title. Okay, no. Let me take this out. So I will insert a text. Okay, and this text will be my slide title. Okay, and I will duplicate this, and I say that this is my stuff. Okay, I take away all the bullet points. Again, I can do this as a key. So I can then align this to the middle. Align this to the middle. And I will know that they are very, very neatly cut. This one, I would like to align my text to the bottom so that if I have a very long text, it flows upwards. And for this one, I will align it to the top. Maybe I'll have this as maybe this one is this color. Oh no, I think white better. Then this one also white. Okay, and maybe this one is bold. Maybe this one much bigger. Okay, so this is let's say my cover slide. Okay, maybe I want to draw a line. Okay, insert. I'll do a line. Take from here. I'll make it a bright. Let's see this line, and I'll make it a bit thicker. Remember the time just now I showed you all the align distribution thing. So I can put it in here somewhere, and I'm not sure if it's a line. I can do this. Then I align, distribute vertically again. So now I know exactly it's right smack in the middle. Now what I need is 2 more slides. So this is a cover slide. I need a divider slide. Okay, so I call this divider title. Okay, subtitle. And maybe this one, the color is not so intense. Maybe I want to have lighter. Then I have another one, maybe subdivider. Okay. So what happens is I will make another gradient. Maybe this time even lighter. Maybe this time green color. Ugly. Okay, maybe not this blue. Maybe. Oh, very bright. Cannot. My eyes cannot take it. Do it this way. Okay, so this is a subdivider. Okay, maybe let's make this the divider and that the subdivider. Okay. So now I don't want this anymore. I can delete this away. Then I want to rename this to be divider, okay, rename. Then here I want to rename it subdivider. Okay. Now the next one I want to create is a content page. So I will rename this. This is my title. I want to insert a placeholder. The content. Okay, I want it to be 30. No, I think I did 11 or something like that. So something like that. Okay, so this is my content, and then there's a few others that I always use. So I have a custom slide. Okay, let's say this is one of this content. Okay, then maybe this is a statement. I'll take this, I'll drag it up. We'll delete this away, and I want to make this big. The one bullet, okay. And then I make it a solid. No, sorry. I make the background solid. That color. 1-to-1 color. This one is a white font and big statement. So, okay, so I usually have something like that I call statement. And you need two more. I always feel one is for media. So I take everything away. I want the background to be black color. Because a lot of times, be it on a TV screen or on an overhead projector screen, you always have, I every time see videos being played and then there's a white bar at the top and the bottom. So to prevent that, we put a black color background. And I insert a picture. No, sorry, I can insert a media. It could be media, it could be picture, it doesn't really matter. So this one is a full screen thing. So when you drop in a picture and image, it will just fill up the entire screen. Okay. And I will always have also a blank slide. The new layout, and I have a blank slide. So the blank slide is for me to do anything that I like. So I'm going to call this blank. This video. Call that statement. So now I've done my slide template. Of course, you can spend more time to design it. But what's going to happen is when I create a new slide, this is what I'm going to get. I'm going to get a cover slide, a divider, a subdivider, a content, a statement, a media, and a blank. So I can do slides very quickly. So let's say today, best wines of the world. Okay. And I go a new slide. I have a cover slide here. Wines of Italy. Okay. And I can very quickly create a content slide. Best wines of Italy. Okay, then I can start creating my content, and I know very well that they will all work very nicely. Okay, so that's basically how you create a template and move things along. Now, for a few best practices, I find that fonts, try to limit to 2 fonts. If not, it will get very messy. Colors as well, try to keep to a specific color palette so that you have certain consistency as well. So, and I think that's just some very generic best practice that everybody should have. Now, slides for submitting reports, slides for proposals is one kind of stuff. You could have a lot of very small little fonts. Let's go back to this one, right? Let's say we just now have a lot of forum ipsum. Okay, I've got some forum ipsum text. Now, in your proposal submission, you may have content like that you really need to talk a lot about. Okay, but this is never a good practice for presentation because one, thing is that you never want your audience to actually be stopping and reading, right? So let's just make this slide like a bit more proper. So point of, I'll just take a random picture, right? To size large. Okay, I'll take this picture. See this picture is here. Okay. Let me crop this a little bit. Up, down. Okay, maybe still a bit big, so I'll crop this a little bit. Okay, I'll move this to the left, right, sorry, and I'll move this here. And you may, for some purpose, you really need to have all this copy in there. That's perfectly fine, I think, for submission. But there are a few problems here. You can see that the line spacing is too tight. So I would go back to my master slide. I can do it on this slide specifically, or I can go back to my master slide and say, hey, this one, right? I'm going to format paragraph like I mentioned here, multiple, I put 1.3. What's going to happen that it's going to have a lot more breathing space. So now you can see that it's a lot easier to breathe and read. Now, but for presentation purpose, I will never ever have that many copy. So I will make my point at max about 5 to 7 of words, and I will make my font huge. Okay, I would usually smallest I will have it as 20, if not, even 24 or so on, because you want to make sure that that the audience are actually listening to you express your ideas, rather than your audience spending time reading and not listening to you. So that's very important. Okay, now another whole practice of developing good slides is the whole concept of storytelling, about how you excite your audience at the beginning, and then how you're going to provide them proof, how to provide them insights, how you're going to provide them facts to support your point, and then actually close off with the actual statement that you want to make. Okay, so things like that can happen as well. So I think that's another session for another time. But yeah, so that's basically what I can share today. Very basic, but I hope that's going to be useful for everybody.